Hey guys, it's Ewan with the Air Zoo. There was a lot of action in our restoration center the other day as we installed the fuel tank inside of our FM-2 Wildcat restoration. Now, this seems like a pretty straightforward task, but because this is a restoration, it's a little bit difficult, as Assistant Restoration Manager Dan Brandt will explain.
Something like this, after an accident, it just doesn't go back in the way you'd like it to.
Yeah, things get warped in weird ways.
Yeah, so you gotta add a little finesse to it. Or sometimes a 16-pound hammer is the solution.
Dan then showed me one of the finessing tools the guys sometimes use if a piece of the restoration's been a little bit difficult.
We couldn't get the landing gear, part of the landing gear apart. Spent much time trying to do it the correct way. We finally designed the Smackinator. And that and a 16-pound sledgehammer helped a lot. It actually managed to extract the parts from each other.
Is that the nuclear option in this place?
Yeah, in a way. It's kind of a last resort.
Break in case of emergency.
Yeah.
Now luckily the Smackinator didn't have to be used this time around. But as you can see, the guys were originally trying to lift the fuel tank using ropes. But given that the fuel tank's rounded, doesn't have very sharp corners, this proved to be a little bit difficult. The rope was slipping in some places. It just couldn't get a good grip.
You can't turn it?
So the rope wasn't really working the way they wanted it to work. So what they did was eventually they just gave up on it. They lowered the fuel tank down, got rid of the rope, and brainstormed a different idea over coffee, which is typically how the brainstorming thought process goes in the restoration center. So we can see there, they put it back on the ground, and they're getting rid of the rope. Hi, Dan. And there's the fuel tank there, and that's the spot it's got to get into. Right below the pilot, which I never knew until, well, the day they installed it, which is it's pretty crazy if you think about it. So after the break, they approached it using the purple strap, which worked so much better. As you can see, it's going up nice and balanced. Much less people involved as well, which is always a nice thing. Now you can see this other kind of green thing hanging down there. That's the actual strap for the fuel tank. The fuel tank gets strapped in and then secured when it's installed properly. So that strap as well, the inside of that is lined by leather, and we're actually using the original leather from the aircraft. One of our restoration volunteers, Wayne, he restored that leather, and we try and use as much of the original material as possible. Because this isn't a flying restoration, we can get away with using as much of the original metal, much of the original leather as possible.
Now this is our problem. Now you can go straight up. Straight up. Keep going. Keep shaking. Gotta go high in the back. Not too much. Just almost there. Keep going. Keep going. Almost there. A little bit more. Front's inside. We got the front. Don't tip it. That can go right in that slot. Yeah, very good there. We can go forward. Go up a little more. Where? We're almost in.
No, he's talking to, okay.
Phil.
Up, okay. Phil.
Phil, up.
Get my legs on any longer.
Phil up. Phil up.
Keep going.
Keep going.
It's in almost. Go up and the upper member.
Okay, take a break.
Okay, hold on. Let me get out from under.
Okay, wait. Watch fingers. Hold it. Yeah. We're beyond this point now. We're good. It's up.
And now the guys are just putting some temporary supports before they remove the purple strap and then attach the actual strap. So that goes all the way around and then gets tightened with some turnbuckles and bolts and stuff to keep that fuel tank nice and secure during flight.
Okay, that's it. Full weight is on it. Okay, it's on it. It's up. Now you have to bring it up higher. Okay, coffee.
And there is Phil inside the cockpit. Phil is the restoration lead of this Wildcat restoration. He's been working on this airframe for about 8 or so years now, so he's really familiar with this particular aircraft, and the work he's done is phenomenal.
We're really close. you've got it.
I would say right now you're up high enough, okay, and then we'll just have to muscle it up the rest of the way to get that cinch to come around.
So you can see they got it in and they've put that actual strap across, and right now they're just trying to get it into that final position, make sure everything's tight as possible, everything is secure as possible.
Actually,
I love our humans. Yeah, you got room. Yeah.
actually now this side you need to pull up. Your right side drop, Dave.
Okay,
Port side or starboard?
this side. This side.
Dave's side.
Starboard.
TV spec, yeah.
So there we go. And now they're just tightening that final strap just to make sure it's sitting really, really secure.
Well, this was tightened up pretty good.
So it's mostly Phil inside the cockpit. He's just tightening up those turnbuckles on either side of the fuel tank.
Phil, you're pretty good at that. Oh, Terry's really good at safety wiring. Yeah.
We're talking about
guys,
one where you
let's
go
just
through and
extreme.
wrap it somewhere.
Yeah, have Terry.
You want to be correct nowadays.
You drop.
And there's Phil
Get that right.
tightening the turnbuckle. There's my autofocus, ruining the shot. And there he does the other side. And there he is.
Phil is hyped.
I missed it, but he was yelling in celebration, yes, yes, when he saw it secured. And there it is, in its home, right underneath the pilot. Amazing, a huge milestone of this restoration complete. But that's not it, there's a lot more work to be done, and Phil has immediately moved on to checking out the next part of the restoration, which seems to be something to do with the landing gear. If you want to stay up to date on our aircraft restorations, make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow us on social media. You can also check out our website, airzoo.org, and begin to plan your visit today. I'll see you next time.